doing, GITV? My name is Tim. Today we're going to be taking a really close look at the Magpul PTS Masada AKM. The first video that we did on this thing just kind of went over the external features of it, but today we're actually going to be taking the gun apart and taking a look at how easy it is to disassemble this gun and how modular the Masada platform is. This is theoretically the last airsoft gun that you need to buy. There was a point in time in airsoft history, I guess you could say, where it was very beneficial for airsoft players to have at least two guns. One gun that had a shorter barrel that shot less FPS for close quarters indoor engagements, and a gun with a longer barrel that shot harder for outdoor long range engagements. However, this gun is everything all in one, kind of. Let me show you what I mean. This gun, you can change the barrel length and you can change the spring relatively easily with very minimal tools, okay? You don't have to take the gun all the way apart down to the gearbox like you do with like an M4, which is a very old airsoft design. This is a very modern airsoft gun. It's a very modern real gun actually, in real life too. And this really is the last airsoft gun that you theoretically need to buy. Because the barrel has changed so easily and because the spring has changed so easily, you can modify this gun very quickly for both indoor close range engagements and outdoor long range engagements with really just the turn of a screwdriver. So let's start taking this thing apart, and I'm really going to illustrate how easy it is to disassemble this thing. The only tools that you're really going to need to take this thing apart are the included dummy Magpul bullet, which is what you're going to use to punch the pins. You may or may not need a rubber mallet or anything to strike the rubber bullet with. I'll get to that point in a bit. In order to change the spring with the quick change spring system, you're going to need a 6mm Allen screw. And you're also going to need something flat. I've chosen this little bent wrench, but you can use a flathead screwdriver, a quarter that's in your pocket, and maybe a key that you have at the time. So the first thing we're going to do to take this thing apart, obviously, is take the magazine out and make sure that we're clear. I already know that we are because I did before we start the video for this video, start the camera for this video. We're going to take our bullet and punch the front handguard pin out. And all of the pins have detent clips on the inside, so you don't have to worry about losing the pins. The pin's going to stay in place and the handguard slides right off just like that. To take the barrel off is very simple. You don't need any tools. You just pull this lever down and you turn it this way to the left of the gun, which is counterclockwise. Turn that counterclockwise and the barrel slides right out. This is the external and internal barrel assembly, and it has the hop-up bucking. So this makes it very easy to upgrade the inner barrel on this gun or upgrade the hop-up bucking should you so choose to do that. As you saw, I didn't need any external tools other than that bullet button and, well, other than that fake dummy bullet tool. Bullet button is something completely different. If you don't live in California, you don't need to worry about that. But anyway, it makes it very easy to upgrade the inner barrel and change the hop-up bucking because the barrel comes off just like that. So now we have the chassis of our gun. In order to change the spring, we need to take the stock off, which is going to require us to punch these two pins right here. And this is where you may need your rubber mallet because these pins are kind of stiff. Oh, okay, the top pin came out very easily. And the bottom pin did too. The first time I did this, the bottom pin did not come out so easily, and that's where you might need your striking device. But anyway, with the two pins removed, the upper receiver should slide up like this, and the stock is going to slide out. So, oh, there we go. Stock slides right out and it exposes the gearbox, and this is what exposes our spring guide. So theoretically we don't need to do anything further if we just want to change the spring, but just to make this a little easier, I'm going to remove the upper receiver from the lower by punching the final body pin out right here. And voila, we've just disassembled the gun basically down to the gearbox. So you can see we have our entire gearbox up here and we have our spring guide in the back, and this is what's going to allow us to change the spring very easily. There is the flathead surface device where you're going to need this thingy. Flathead surface device, I don't know why I said that. This little flathead screwdriver. Oh my goodness, who torqued this thing on? There we go. Okay, so our flat tool, whether it be a flathead screwdriver or this broken wrench thing that I have, is just to take apart the cap. Okay, this cap is in place to make sure that the spring guide does not move while it's in use or without the user's knowledge. So once you have that flat cap off, it's going to expose the spring guide, which is going to come off with the 6mm Allen screw or Allen key that you have. Now you don't have to actually unscrew the spring guide from the gearbox. All you have to do is push it in, turn the tabs so they line up, turn the screw counterclockwise so the tabs line up, and boom, the spring guide is going to come right out. Be careful that the spring guide does not shoot out and hit you right in the face. There you go. That's all it takes to take the spring out of the PTS Masada. If you want to put a harder spring in here to make the gun shoot harder, you can do that. If you want to put a slower spring or a softer spring to make the gun shoot slower for CQB, you can do that. Just put a new spring on and put the spring guide back in the gearbox. Likewise with the barrel, we sell barrel kits that are longer than this, so if you require extra range and accuracy for outdoor play, you can get the longer barrel and it installs right on. The CQB Masada, I should say, the AKM Masada is better set up for CQB than the regular Masada because it already comes with the side folding stock and the shorter barrel. So I would say if you play primarily CQB, you definitely should go with the AKM Masada, whereas if you play primarily outdoors, or if you play primarily in longer engagements where you have more space, the regular Masada is probably going to be a better pick for you because it comes with this fixed stock and it comes with a longer barrel. But the stock and the barrels and everything like that, the handguards, are all interchangeable between the AKM and the regular Masada. Additionally, some of the critiques about the Masada is that it doesn't come with very much rail space. It does have a continuous top rail for optics, but the MOE handguard rails that fit for like the M4 MOE handguard, the rails that fit onto that also fit onto the Masada handguard. So you can add those rails on there for additional rail space. And that's all it takes to take apart the gun. I didn't use anything more than this fake bullet. I didn't need this, although if you have a brand new Masada, the pins may not be as easy to push out. And some sort of flat surface device or flat tool device and a 6mm Allen screw. That's all you really need to take apart the Masada down to the gearbox. Anything further than that, you may need a few more tools, but that's the basics. You know, you can change the spring, you can change the barrel, you can change the inner barrel and the hopper bucking, all relatively easily. The Masada AKM is a great gun. I highly recommend checking it out on AirsoftGI.com. If you happen to live close enough, you can also check it out in our store. My name is Tim. Thanks for watching GI TV.
I'm Deputy Joe LaMonaco. On behalf of the LA County Sheriff's Department in association with Airsoft GI, I want to remind you that your airsoft guns can be mistaken as actual firearms in public. I also want to remind you that never, ever take a firearm near a school.
What's up, GI TV? Hopefully you have a better understanding about the internals and how easy it is to take apart and modify the Masada AKM. If you're interested in more information about this gun, or if you happen to miss our first video about it, click on this video and check it out.